A rundown hospital stands under a stormy sky. The wind howls as lightning flashes, briefly illuminating a broken sign, St. Maria's Hospital. A flashlight beam sweeps across the dusty floor. Jason, a skeptical journalist, and Lisa, his camerawoman, cautiously step inside. Jason, whispering, "You sure this is the place?" Lisa nods, uneasy. They say this hospital shut down after incidents. People disappearing. Jason chuckles, dismissing the idea, but a distant clang makes them freeze. They move forward, their footsteps echoing. Rusty wheelchairs and gurneys litter the hall. Jason checks his recorder. Jason. Into recorder. Urban legends claim the silent ward was a place where patients checked in, but never checked out. A cold breath swirls in the air. Lisa shivers. Lisa. Firmly. Let's not stay too long. Suddenly, the overhead lights flicker. A distant child's laughter echoes. Jason. Whispers. That wasn't you, was it? Lisa shakes her head. The flashlight flickers, plunging them into darkness. When the light returns, a nurse figure stands at the end of the hall, her head tilted unnaturally. Lisa. Terrified. We need to leave. Now. The figure glides toward them, her white uniform stained with something dark. They turn and bolt. They burst into a surgery room. Rusted instruments hang from the ceiling. A bloody stretcher lies in the center. Jason stares at it, his breath quickening. Jason. This wasn't like this before. A metallic creak. The stretcher moves slightly. Lisa gasps as she sees a figure under a white sheet, its chest rising and falling. The sheet suddenly flies off, revealing a patient with hollow eyes and a stitched-shut mouth. It screams, despite the stitches, and Jason and Lisa run. They descend rapidly. Lisa glances back. The nurse is floating above the stairs, her mouth opening unnaturally wide. Lisa. Crying out. Go faster. Jason trips, crashing into the floor. Lisa helps him up, and they burst through a door. They find themselves in a corridor lined with old hospital beds, each occupied by a motionless figure under white sheets. Jason and Lisa freeze. One by one, the sheets start rising. The figures underneath sit up, their heads snapping toward the intruders. Jason frantically tries the door handle, locked. The lights flicker violently. The figures rise to their feet, surrounding them. Lisa. Sobbing. This isn't real. This isn't real. The nurse emerges from the shadows, her arms unnaturally long, her fingers twitching. Jason. Screaming. Stay back. The figures lunge. The lights blink out. In mourning. A security guard enters, scanning the abandoned hospital. A faint scratching noise echoes from the silent ward. A single camera lies on the ground, its screen flickering. The last frame shows Jason and Lisa's terrified faces before static takes over. A whisper lingers, "You shouldn't have come." Fade to black. The end. Dimly lit room. Stainless steel drawers line the walls, each labeled with a number. A single fluorescent light flickers overhead, casting eerie shadows. Jason, a 30-year-old mortuary assistant, sighs as he adjusts his gloves. His last shift before transferring to another hospital. He pulls a clipboard from the counter and glances at the list of bodies. Jason, softly to himself, one last night. Just one last night. A body lies on the central table under a white sheet. Tag, unknown male, date of death 11:45 p.m. Jason frowns. Jason, weird. No name. He pulls out his phone, texts his supervisor, who brought in an untagged body. Looks fresh. No response. A thud. Jason whirls around. A drawer at the far end of the morgue has popped open slightly. Jason, smirking, damn faulty locks. He walks over, pushing it back in. As he turns, another thud. The same drawer slides open again. Jason hesitates. Slowly, he reaches for the handle and pulls the drawer open. The body inside is wrapped in a black body bag. A phone rings. Jason jumps. He checks his phone, no call. But the ringing continues, coming from inside the body bag. Jason, whispering, "No way." He unzips the bag. A pale, lifeless man stares up at him. In his hand, a ringing phone. Jason slowly pries the phone from the corpse's fingers. The caller ID reads, "Unknown number." Hesitating, Jason answers. "Jason," softly, "hello?" A static-filled voice replies. Distorted voice, "Why did you open the door?" The line goes dead. Jason drops the phone. The corpse's eyes flick open. Jason stumbles back, knocking over a tray of tools. He scrambles to his feet and bolts for the door. It won't budge. Jason, breathing heavily, "No. No. This isn't happening." A chill runs through the room. The lights flicker violently. The drawers begin to rattle. The metal doors bang as if something inside is trying to break free. Jason turns as the corpse sits up, lips moving but no sound coming out. Whispering voices fill the room. "Join us. Join us. Join us." Jason backs away, pressing himself against the locked door. The whispers grow louder. The corpses in the drawers start sliding out. Limbs twitch. Eyes snap open. A cold hand grabs Jason's wrist. He screams. Fade to black. Next morning, a new mortuary tech walks in. The morgue is silent, back to normal. Jason is nowhere to be seen. The same drawer that had popped open earlier now has a new tag. Jason Miller. Date of death time 11:45 p.m. The tech frowns, confused. He checks his list. Jason's name wasn't there yesterday. A phone rings from inside the drawer. And the story ends. A violent storm rages, wind howling through shattered windows. The street. Mercy Hospital, condemned for decades, looms under the flickering streetlights. The sign swings on rusted chains, creaking like an old whisper. The main entrance stands open, as if inviting someone inside. The air is thick with decay, mold creeping up the walls. Faint echoes of distant whispers bounce off the shattered glass and peeling linoleum floor. Dr. Adam Sullivan, 40s seasoned surgeon, cautiously steps inside, gripping a small flashlight. Dressed in his surgical scrubs, his breath is unsteady, misting in the frigid air. Dr. Adam, to himself. This place shouldn't even exist anymore. A distant metallic clatter startles him. He turns sharply, scanning the corridor, but finds only darkness. He moves forward, his flashlight beam trembling across the discolored walls. Faded posters of medical procedures dangle by their corners, some torn beyond recognition. Rust stains streak the floor, leading deeper into the corridors. He notices old patient files strewn across the floor. Kneeling, he picks one up. The name on the file makes his stomach drop. Dylan Reeves, a deceased. A loud, wet thud sounds behind him. Adam spins around, but there's nothing there. A single operating room door stands ajar at the end of the hall. A faint surgical light flickers inside. A rusted overhead light dangles, swinging slightly. The room is coated in dust, yet the operating table is pristine, as if prepped for surgery. A set of surgical tools lays out, gleaming unnaturally. Dr. Adam, muttering. This isn't right. As he inspects the tools, a sharp whisper snakes through the air. Whisper. Doctor, you are late. The overhead surgical light flares to life, flooding the room with an eerie glow. The reflection on the polished metal lamp shows a figure in a bloodstained surgical mask standing behind Adam. Dr. Adam, whipping around. Who's there? Silence. Only the slow drip, drip, drip from an four stand in the corner. A metal door creaks open. A patient table on wheels slides forward on its own, the leather straps undone, as if inviting him to perform surgery. The dusty monitors flicker to life, displaying a heartbeat. A flatline. Whisper, closer, raspier. You let me die. Now, it's your turn. Adam clutches his chest, his breathing shallow. His own reflection in the metal tray twists, morphing into something else, his eyes sunken, blood dripping from his forehead. A younger Dr. Adam frantically operates on Dylan, 20s, his pulse weak. Nurse. Doctor, his vitals are dropping fast. Dr. Adam. No. I can save him. Give me more time. Dylan convulses. The monitors scream as the ECG flatlines. Dr. Adam stands frozen as the room warps around him. The walls become fresh and white, the dust vanishing. The lights hum to life. The abandoned hospital has transformed. It's the surgery room from years ago. But something is wrong. The nurses and staff are motionless, their backs turned to him. Nurse, echoing, distorted. You let him die. You let him die. You let him die. Adam steps back, his hands trembling. He looks down, his surgical gloves are soaked in fresh blood. A scalpel floats into the air, its blade gleaming. Dylan's voice, whispering behind him. Scalpel. The air crackles, the scalpel races forward. Suddenly, Adam is strapped to the operating table, his limbs bound by leather straps. Dylan, now wearing a surgeon's coat, looms over him, holding the scalpel. Dylan. Let's see how you handle being on the table, doctor. The overhead light flickers violently. Ghostly figures of past patients appear, their faces twisted in pain. Patients, whispering, overlapping. You failed us. You failed us. Adam struggles, eyes wide in terror as Dylan presses the scalpel to his chest. Dr. Adam, pleading. Please. I tried to save you. Dylan, smiling coldly. And now, I'll try to save you. The scalpel slices downward. A new day breaks. The storm has cleared. The hospital remains as lifeless as ever. The room is untouched. Empty. The dust remains undisturbed. Yet on the operating table, Dr. Adam lies still. His eyes are open, glassy. His hands clutch an invisible wound. The heart monitor beside him beeps once, then flatlines. The end.